Welcome to the BeyondBitcoin Whaletank. Be sure to follow the BeyondBitcoin tag on Steemit, as well as our Hangout host Official Fuzzy for the latest Whaletank updates. To participate in the discussion, simply find a weekly Whaletank RSVP post and RSVP with a topic or proposal in the comments. WhaleShares creates synergy between BitShares and Steem by rewarding developers and helpful community members. The Whaletank has already distributed over $70,000 in upvotes during its first month. You can also create and trade your own cryptographically secure whale tokens and get an automatic seat in the Whale Council. WhaleShares work for the chain based on votes by the community. If you're interested in becoming a founding member of the Whale Council, let us know by sending an email to beyondbitcoin@gmail.com with the subject Whale Council. Be on the lookout for our new forums coming soon.
Welcome everybody to another Beyond Bitcoin Hangout where you can power yourself up with your own tokens. Today is Saturday, September 30th, 2017, and this is Hangout number 226. We are still in the beta stages of Whaletank Hangout and WhaleShares, so there will be cool things that do come in the future. As of present, we have a couple cool things already where we like to benefit the individuals who have a little bit of interest in creating their own tokens and potentially leveraging them to help their own projects. Every week, people join up to the Whaletank to talk about their projects, provide updates in what they're doing in the crypto space, and hopefully, they're also considering how they can leverage the creation of a token and the utilization thereof to not only empower their project, but empower the other people who want to hold those tokens and leverage those tokens to help the project as well. This is one of the ways that I'm trying to incentivize people to play around in the sandbox, use these tokens, see what works, see what doesn't, and help us to document the process and the progress or sometimes the pitfalls. The entire story thereof. Now, with that said, everybody who wants to post a project can go to the weekly RSVP threads at steemit.com/@officialfuzzy, where I post the RSVP hangouts and I re-steam other people's content regarding this. And every week, these individuals who join up are allowed to RSVP. We ask them to get upvotes from people who are within the community and outside of the community to join up to do so as well. And the reason for this is it shows us that there are people within the ecosystem who are willing to upvote you and kind of step in and say, yes, I back this person. If you do not back a person and you do not believe in what they're doing, feel free to post a reply as opposed to a flag, giving information on what is going on with the individual or the project at hand. And if there's something that ends up being important that we needed to know about, I will always gladly tip people who bring relevant information in a productive manner. Now, with that said, there are a few cool things that we offer with power-ups to people who do create their own tokens and post the link to where it trades on the BitShares DEX. If you have a token and you are willing to distribute it to these Hangout attendees and also have it on the BitShares DEX, you are able to increase the chances of being in a preferable order, meaning the first, second, or third in these Hangout segments. And if you want to, if you have a token, holding this token and posting the link to it will double your chances as one power-up. As the second power-up, we have 15 minutes that are established for every project to have as a base. However, you can earn extra minutes by share dropping on the people who are going to attend this Hangout and are going to sign the guest list that I will provide. Now, if the community is interested in that share drop and wants a part of that share drop, and they say, yes, we can give you up to 10 extra minutes to talk about what is going on, I will always consider whether the community is wanting to add extra minutes because of the conversation too, as well, or just for the tokens. But we will definitely be able to offer you extra time if you want to leverage those tokens. And finally, we give out well over $500-600 a week in this Hangout alone. Historically, it's actually been well over $1,000 a week to the people who participate. And there is nowhere else that I know of that you can transparently do this in the Steemit ecosystem and earn these tokens. So I urge everyone to consider joining up, because those people who do have their own token, who join up and provide the link for the final power-up that we offer, you will be able to potentially earn 1,000 Beyond Bits, which is worth approximately $400 at present. So, with that said, at the end of every week, whenever I choose that person, if you believe that your token is more valuable and that there might be an opportunity that you think that I missed, you can always reach out to me and talk to me about it after the fact, and maybe I will change my mind. But if you do not have a token that you're leveraging, you will not be able to earn this 1,000 Beyond Bits. However, I do take the amount that is earned and I distribute it to the people who join these hangouts as guest speakers. So, with that said, if you would like larger payouts, consider trying to get the Whaletank Hangouts upvoted further. Tell people about them. Tell people about your project and send a link to the WhaleShares Hangout. Do what you can to promote us, because promoting us and what we're doing here is promoting everybody and also giving us the resources to continue paying you. Now, with that said, today the order of precedence has been established, with Xanox from RuDex at $6.71. Voiceshares fitness sessions will be following that, and that will be Ride of Passion. We will then follow this by gsgaming, and we will cap off the day with themarkymark and his project BuildAWhale updates. So with that said, I thank everyone who has joined up today and who joins every week. And I thank you all for the little things that you do that help us. All of you offer incredible value, and all of you offer unique value. So always try to consider how you can leverage that to help each other, because that's how we form synergy and create ridiculous amounts of value. Now, with that said, Xanox, I'll go ahead and I'll ask you, are you ready to step up to the plate and give everybody an update on what's going on in the RuDex ecosystem?
Sure. I'd like to begin. Well, you said something about tokens, and if you guys know, RuDex team started as a translation project for posts on Steemit and for all the things related to BitShares, to Steem, to graphene technology in general. And we were at some point, I think it was like last December or maybe January this year, we're considering creating tokens to sell translation things. And with this thing about community tokens, we might consider doing that actually, but something that I just wanted to say for like kind of historical reasons. Yeah, we have a team of translators and we have quite a bit of people who ask us to translate things. And we at some point when we started, we were thinking about how to monetize what we are doing, because most of things we do for Steem uploads and Golas uploads, and sometimes they give you nice payout and the translator is happy because the money goes to the translators, sometimes not so much. And we were thinking about things that would allow it to have some sort of stable income, and but instead we went and started doing our own interface for BitShares, and that also started as a translation project because BitShares didn't have a Russian interface at the time. And we were approached by tests who said, like, you guys are working on this, maybe you want to do Russian translation? And we said, yeah, sure. And then after we did that, we thought, okay, we have this interface translation. We could probably create our own interface, and had a lot of ideas about what we want to see on BitShares, and that way we had an ability to fill all of them. For example, one of the things that we have that's different from standard BitShares is our Telegram-based troll box. That we have a sandboxed iframe with the chat bro. A lot of people say that was a security problem, and we spent a lot of time to safeguard this. At some point, we were considering maybe seeing if there's code for chat bro and forking our own, so we would know that it's safe enough because, when you are dealing with a crypto wallet that is BitShares DEX, essentially, you can't have too much security. Anyway, one of the things that we always wanted is a Ruble MPA, and we created it and gave it to the committee. So it's now an official Ruble currency MPA of the BitShares, and all the price feeds for it are provided by producing witnesses. And also, after that, since we position ourselves as a Graphene ambassadors for a Russian-speaking audience, we also worked and talked with communities of Pure Plays, of Muse, of Golos, and of Steem, and BitShares itself, and created 0% market fee gateways that allow people to trade their tokens and exchange their tokens from Graphene-based networks without any friction other than paying the minuscule BitShares commissions. And that is made possible because we don't have any investors that we have any responsibilities in turning a profit and something like that, and also that we have an active witness in all of those networks. And in BitShares we're a producing witness, in Plays and in Muse we're a producing witness, and in Steem and Golos we are in top 20, which is maybe 1 or 2%, or I don't know, several 100,000 or like millions of vests away from being a top 90 witness and producing a block every round. But even without being there, we're still close to the top. And on Steem currently, we've been running witness since spring. I think it was late March or early April when we announced the launch of our witness, and we are still not in top 50. So if you want to vote for a witness to support what we are doing, you'll have to input the witness name in the field for voting for not the top witnesses, and the witness name is blockchain, like blockchain ed. And hopefully, we consider that most likely, if enough people vote for us, we hope to be in maybe like top 30, and maybe eventually make it into the top. But top 30 would be nice, and I think it would be enough to allow us to accelerate what we're doing by quite a bit. And next up, in the things that we are planning to do, we are currently tinkering with Ethereum nodes. We have to run one to be able to gate ERC20 tokens, and our first ERC20 token, once we have that operational, is going to be EOS, and I'm not sure on the particulars yet, but most likely we'll have a 0% market fee for EOS token only, because at some point it's going to be a Graphene-based token, and once that happens, we'll create a gateway for EOS, because we think that having BitShares as a premier platform for EOS tokens and all the tokens created on EOS is achievable, and well, it's actually desirable, because as far as I know, there are projects on creating DEXs on EOS itself, but we have the positioning to be first such DEX without actually porting to EOS, because Graphene chains have an ability to sidechain to each other, and hopefully within the next half a year or so, teams on EOS and other chains would realize the tools to allow that and do all the research required for that. Next up, we are probably going to try and backport escrow functionality from Steem into BitShares, and we have a team of people who can work on that, and possibly as soon as we are sure that, yeah, that's feasible for us in short term. We'll create a worker proposal for that if no one beats us to that, because escrow functionality would allow creation of peer-to-peer gating. So you'll have something along the lines of local bitcoins, except local bitcoins are a centralized service that allows peer-to-peer exchanges of bitcoins. But we were researching using the multi-sig schemes for that, and decided that while it's possible, it's still a bit, clunky. That's why we kind of shifted it sometime into the future once the tools that allow more elegant solution are in place. And that's probably it. If you have any questions. Oh yeah, another thing is, hopefully if you are going to Steamfest, you'll be able to see me if I get my visa done in a timely manner, because if it happens, I'll go to Steamfest and do a presentation there. But I'll know in maybe a week or week and a half.
Xanax, there are some other projects which are based on graphene, like Descent. Maybe will it work also for them, like the exchange?
Yeah, we've translated a lot of text for them, and we are planning to have a Descent gateway, also powered by being a witness on Descent network. But it's probably going to be after an ERC20 gateway, since it's not that hard to create gateways for graphene-based systems for us. It might happen before ERC20 gateway, but I'm not sure on the timeline. But yeah, that's in our plans. And if you are launching a graphene-based network and you have a solid community and a solid business case for use of blockchain and are looking to be listed, we are open to providing gateways to the DEX, because as far as we are concerned, DEX is the thing that is there to tie all the graphene-based chains together, and yeah, any other chains as well. But we first look for several things. One of them is if the blockchain in question has any sort of governance solutions, so you can in the future expect to see maybe Decred or I don't know, Dash, or yeah. And the second thing is privacy-centric blockchains. That's something that we really like. So Dash, Monero, Zcash, I don't know, TVAX, or well, whatever are the chains that have that functionality. We are looking into creation, but that's probably going to be in 2018, maybe earlier. But our idea is that we want to move at the pace that's comfortable for us, and so we are sort of, when it's done, things there are no ATAs, but for graphene-based chains, it's maybe like a week or two. Takes us about a week or two to set up the infrastructure for that, and another week or two to test that and release into the public, and then another couple of weeks to do a public testing before we send the code upstream, so it can be included into the reference wallet and into any other BitShares based interfaces.
Okay, that's very cool. And so if you would upvote something which actually belongs on a Descent network or any other graphene-based, like your music or something, then those gateways could be like configured to send the money on or something like that?
You'll still have to do it via BitShares. You send your money to, for example, Descent gateway on BitShares. You get RuDex or Descent tokens and or whatever they're going to be called. Then you go and exchange them for, I don't know, RuDex Muse tokens, and can then send them to Muse network. And the thing is, since there are zero market fees, we're not actually taking any money from those trades only. And since most graphene-based blockchains don't have sending or receiving fees or transaction fees, we have zero transaction fees to send money this way or that. And even with BitShares and peer plays that have those transaction fees, since we are getting paid by the blockchain and the volume on those movements is offset by those payments, so we are able to afford that. There are minimum amounts that we process, but it's still pretty frictionless for you if you are sending money from one blockchain to another. But it still requires people willing to trade. Maybe depending on how liquid the market is, it may be best if you do you take your decent tokens, sell them for BitShares, and then buy use tokens for BitShares. But still, and yeah, one of the things that the community can help us with is doing
Xanox, really quickly. I can give you about 20 more seconds if that's okay, but we're a little bit over the 15 minutes, but you're more than welcome to join up every week and give us a status as well.
Yeah, sure, cool. So one of the things that you can help us with is market making. If you have a lot of tokens for one of those chains, you are welcome to come and provide the liquidity for them. Also, vote for our witnesses on all those networks. We are looking for votes on Steem, and in the chat here, there were details about that. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Xanox. And if people want to reach out to you guys and ask you any questions, or heck, maybe they know of a chain or a graphene-based chain or something similar like a BitShares 1.0 based kind of chain, a graphene 1.0 chain, how would they reach out to you and contact you to let you know about all this stuff?
You can leave comments on our Steem blog, but also contact us on Telegram. We have a really heavy presence on Telegram with several groups for all those graphene chains. So we have Peer Plays Woo, EOS Woo, we have BitShares, DEX Woo, and all of them. I think in the chat here's the links. Dima is posting them.
Sounds good. And thank you very much, everybody, for joining up to these Hangouts and participating in them. Thank you, Xanox, for joining up to provide all this information. You see, these are things that a lot of people do not know about, and they should. And this is one of the means of us getting this information out in a way that is open and transparent. And I just want to urge everyone here who is part of these, and those of you who are listening, to consider. We have 2,500 listens just on SoundCloud a week. So we have people out there who are paying attention and listening to us as well. If you're a listener and you're not, or you're in here, please consider if there's a project that really seems like it's going to bring value to your stake and that you think that you could add value to them and give them a little bit of help in any way, shape, or form. It does not have to be always money. This is the space of disruption. The disruption comes from creation and innovation. So innovate and use your own value propositions to uplift and support these valuable projects, because without these projects, we're kind of standing still in the water. And it's really important. It's really important to help them. And I know that I don't always do it perfectly, but I will say this. Just always try, if you can, if there's a project that seems valuable to you, even if it's just 1 or 2 minutes to share something every week. It's something that they might not otherwise have. I will let everybody know that if you have signed up for these Hangouts and you do get a no-show, I will flag you to take it down to at least 0 so you're not earning funding from signing up. I don't do this to harm you or to attack you. I do this simply to make it so there's no incentive for people to post and not show up. And I also want to be very clear for you and those people who are listening in now and in the future. When you join up to these Hangouts, it is definitely a reflection of yourself, whether you join up or whether you say that you're going to join up and show up. With this comes along the opportunity to also let you know that when you join up, please try to have your mic working, and make sure that you have headphones plugged in and try not to have speakers. These are the types of little things that will help you sound better and bring more value to your own project. And it's just kind of important for us to all try to remain cognizant of these things, because we want that perception to be as strong as possible. Obviously, I don't always do it perfectly myself, so I don't judge here, or I try not to judge, but it is important that we recognize that this is something we do need to keep our eyes on. So with that said, Voiceshares is going to be up next, and they're going to be talking about something that probably I should work with, this fitness sessions launch. And it's going to be talked about by our own resident Voiceshares guru, who is actually the creator of Voiceshares himself, and that is rideofpassion. Rideofpassion, are you available to step up and play?
Yes, Fuzzy. Am I audible, guys? Am I clear?
Sounding perfectly, man. You so perfect.
Thanks, Fuzzy. So I can take over the stage, right?
You've already taken it, my friend.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Too much of voice shares. I mean, I come here every week, and I know you're all amazing people who would like to be associated with a project like this, and it makes an obligation on my part to come here and update everything about voice shares. And today there are too many updates that I want to send out, and I'll start off by thanking IntelliGuy. I mean, this guy is associated with me for the mere sake of belief with the project and the things that project intends to do. So I would like to give a huge shout out to IntelliGuy and start off my talk for the day. And today's talk will be introducing Voiceshares communities. See, one voice is just a voice. A group of voice is a revolution. So there are many problems in the world which needs revolution, but it is not been taken up. So we are creating something called as Voiceshares communities, and we will be driving it through our Voiceshares website. And this will mostly be dealing with the huge crisis for a large bunch of people. Any one person can bring up the issue, and he can create the community which represents a larger folk, and we can create the noise, create the revolution through putting it across through the right channels and taking it across to the right platforms. So we will be coming out with Voiceshare communities. So you have any huge untold story which is affecting a lot of lives, create your own communities, and we will empower it, and we will be doing it in our own way. So that is the first update. We will be coming out with Voiceshare communities. Second thing is about the fitness sessions. As Fuzzy said, most of us need it now, and we are working with a well-trained and and a certified fitness expert to deliver us a few fitness related sessions, and these are subscription basis. That is, you'll have to pay us through Voiceshares to be a part of this professional session, which will be delivered by an expert in his own field. And the one more opportunity that has opened up is the sponsorship for this particular event. That is, we are offering a title sponsorship for anyone who's willing to pay us in Voiceshares to take up the sponsorship space. And it will sound something like this. Voiceshare presents fitness sessions powered by so-and-so. That so-and-so can be any one of you who would want to sponsor us with Voiceshares. And this is one way we are realizing our value propositions. The third update would be, we will be coming out with Voiceshares badges. You can pick it up, and it is in a very nascent stage. We just discussed it yesterday. So you guys can pick up one of these and you can own it just for the sake of doing good. And that is like a doing good badge. That is, you are involved with something that is trying to do good to the society. So we will be coming up with lots of such ideas and merchandise of Voiceshares to start off a bigger campaign and drive people from outside the community as well to join this revolution. And one more small update is Voiceshares is now accepted by one of the travel portal which is giving us experience-based tours and travels. So that is one of my other ventures, and we are accepting 10% of the total package value or $100 worth of Voiceshares as we will be accepting Voiceshares tokens on the package value. And the last update would be using Voiceshares. See, we just came out with smart media tokens, and I want to come up with video tutorials on how Voiceshares has been. Not just Voiceshares. We have amazing projects. It's like a huge bunch of projects that has come out from this community. But I want to use Voiceshares as one of the mediums to demonstrate what tokenization can do to a system. And we will be using live example of Voiceshares and how it has been progressing. And yes, we are in the nascent stages of monetizing the token, but yes, we have achieved most of what we set out on. There are a lot to achieve, but we have been on the right track till now. So we will be using Voiceshares to tell people what tokenization is and how we have been able to do it from the past 3-4 months. And that is one more video tutorials that is coming up. And the last update would be like any update from Voiceshares should be from me, and anything that is not coming from me it will not be mine. So it will not be Voiceshares, or I'll not be responsible for any claims or anything that is coming out apart from at Ride of Passion or at Voiceshares. So it should be from our official account, Steemit account, or me speaking on one of these hangouts. Apart from that, please don't associate Voiceshares with anything. And I personally don't want to see Voiceshares suffering because of anything that is happening around, and even I don't want to speculate or take names, but yes, this is something that I want to put it across, and I hope people who are listening, this is solved, and I have told it upfront. It's only Ride of Passion and Voiceshares and even IntelliGuy who can do something like that, and I don't want to give authority to anyone to comment on Voiceshares. And yes, it has happened. Whatever has happened was a negative phase. We shall let it pass. So it's my duty to give out the clarity, and I've done it on my part. And that is there is no point in prolonging the negativity. It's fine. I mean, mistakes happen, so we'll have to move on. But giving out clarity is also important. So that's it, guys. You can always ask me a question if you have any, and I'll be ready to answer those.
Before I start, does anybody have any questions, comments?
So is it something like a decentralized thunderclap or whatever else?
Well, it's in the very, very beginning stages of extrapolating it into our own chain, and we have been considering various options on how to proceed with Voiceshares, and with time to come, I think I'll be sending out an update on what we want to do with Voiceshares to take it on a larger scale in a feasible manner. But yes, having our own chain is always on the cards.
I mean, I think the amazing thing about Voiceshares is that the real world potential is out there. I mean, there's so many people who could use a project like this. I mean, I've talked to Voiceshares about this in the past, about the people who came forward and posted articles that they would have never done in the past or never told anybody about, and they really opened up. And I just like the whole aspect and what he's doing, Ride of Passion. It's amazing, and he's putting so much effort in. I mean, this project could do wonders for people. So I wanted to give you some props for that.
Thanks a lot, Nick. And guys, there is one instance that I want to tell. Not this is something that I should tell because I don't know what Voiceshares is to many of you, because you may not know it up close and personal. But yes, 2 days back, I just received a message that is an anonymous message again from an 18-year-old kid who was trying to arm himself, and he was trying to commit suicide. He wrote me his story in the form of a poem, and we posted it. And then he connected with me personally on Discord. We spoke like for 2 days, and the very next day he told me like, yeah, Voiceshares has given me a voice. I was about to end my life, but you have given me the strength to go out and post my introduction post. Just imagine, it was an 18-year-old kid, and I'm not making this up. You can find all this, but I'm not able to reveal his identity. He came up, and he's been a regular guy on Voiceshares community who's helping out people, even though he's just 18 years old. And that is the kind of thing, that is the kind of impact that Voiceshares is having. And I could have put it out in open. I mean, I can always come out in open to inspire others, but I don't believe in revealing identities. So this is something where we find satisfaction, and that is the thing that we started out with, and we have pretty much achieved whatever we want to do. And having said that, this doesn't end here. We have a lot of ground to cover, and we have some amazing support from Nutella and Nick, Beth. They keep in touch constantly to come out with ideas to save people, to do something positive to the society. And yes, we have been recently associated with themarkymark with his BuildAWhale project, and a few other projects as well. we have been getting the support that we deserve. What I want to say is we don't believe in asking any upvotes. I don't ask for any upvotes even through my Voiceshares post. All I request is just re-stream the post. Even if you don't feel like upvoting, no, it's the last thing that we would care about. So just re-stream the post so that at least the message is spread across. And that is something that you can do. And you don't even have to lose your voting power because of that. So that is only one small request that I want to put across to everyone present in the conference room and people who will be listening to this Hangout later as well. So that's it, guys. And I think I'm pretty much covered most of my ground. And anyone who would like to take up the sponsorship post, you can always reach out. We will be offering you a complimentary two-member pass to the sessions, and you can distribute it in your own way.
Thanks. It was awesome, Ride of Passion.
Thanks a lot.
Really quick, Rite of Passion. If you could do me a favor and remind me after this hangout, behind the scenes, that I need to connect you up with one of my developers. I would like to offer you the opportunity to be able to have a forum for all this stuff too. And I think we've already talked about it, but I want to get you connected with him today or tomorrow at the latest, because I've got so much stuff going on that I will forget if I don't get it done while I'm thinking about it. Obviously, that's after this hangout, but just so you know, that would be something that I'd like to talk about with you.
Yes, Fuzzy. What I suggest is let us drive these projects through EOS forums, and only when we can build a substantial quality user base on those forums, we can create something really amazing on the top of EOS chain once it is launched.
Oh, okay. So that's the way that you guys would like to take it. That's fine. We have the community section on those forums, so people are more than welcome to post to it that way. And that's a community project. I'd say it's probably one of the biggest community projects.
Yeah, that's right. And please give us a forum space, and we would really use it. I mean, I'll be posting twice a day through Voiceshares, so I'll be more than happy to use the forum space. And yes, I'll be speaking to the dev as well. I mean, we have been speaking about this from a very long time, and there's no harm now. We can always do it now.
It's true. Well, I just want to let you know that, and for the people who are listening to this, there are some really good anonymous posts that have been made by people using this service, because it's a way of essentially, not only a way of getting out and talking about something that might be, bothering you, that might not even, it might be a completely internal thing like depression or something to that effect. Or it can be the ability to talk about things that you might be afraid of talking about otherwise for fear of reprisal, right? So this is a place where everybody can use this tool to vent and to get out truth that they might fear being hurt for. And it's working today. So I just want to make it clear that everybody should consider working with Voiceshares. I've seen him doing this now for quite some time. I have to give you credit, man. I see you doing a lot of stuff even when I can't help you, and you don't give up. So thus far, I'm giving you big thumbs up for what I'm seeing.
Thanks a lot, Fuzz. And guys, let me put it on record. I know there will be lots of people listening to it. When I came out with this project concept and reached out to many people who are supposed to be the whales in the community, they asked me for 20% returns on leasing out their SP. And the only place where I could find any support, being a minnow who's less than a month old, was here at the Whaletank. And I'm not trying to, put it across because Fuzzy is here. But yes, this is the place where you can come out and pitch your project and find some audience. And we have shown people as to what we can do with little help. And this little help has been a very big help for us. And thank you, Fuzz, and thank you, community. And I've been doing my bit for the community through my website. And I'm trying to bring the community together for the latest updates. And I'll try to continue, and it's not try, I'll continue doing that. And that's what, there are two things that I request. One is resteam our post if you feel it's worth spreading the message across, and then think about this sponsorship position that is open. That's it, guys.
Well, you are right on time, buddy. Literally had 10 seconds left, so good on you. I don't know if you had a timer there. I want to say
No,
I
no,
thank you.
no. It's always on time. I don't have any timers.
I want to say I thank you, and I look forward to hearing a little bit more about this fitness thing, because exercise and regular physical activity is also, ironically, something that is very valuable for mental health and just feeling better. Anyways,
I'll be posting a detailed coursework, whatever will be covered by the trainer, and yes, before that, I'll be giving out all the information before I take subscriptions. It's all a transparent process, and it will all be there on our Steemit account and our website.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Well, the whole transparency thing is obviously great with me. Please continue bringing this and future updates every week, and I will continue rewarding you with some Beyond Bits, because I definitely do support these types of things, especially when you guys are open and providing updates all the time like this.
Thanks a lot.
Makes it a lot easier on me. All right, with that said, up next is going to be Bam Bam 808, and he's going to be talking about gsgaming. Bam Bam 808, are you there?
Always, my friend.
I've noticed that you are also a busy guy on there. So go ahead and feel free to step up, let everybody know, give your 15-minute presentation, and we can move forward.
Yeah, if anybody has anything they need to add, this probably won't take 15 minutes, as I was just on, a couple weeks kind of discussing it. But I just wanted to kind of do an update regarding where we're at and some of the things that have changed thus far. First off, we've been able to get with a really cool guy at Zord189, and he's able to, create banners, intro videos, anything like that. So if you guys are ever needing anything like that, go Zord189. I would give my full backing if you ever need anything like that. So yeah, we've got our official logo. We've actually had a few gaming spotlights where we spotlight the authors. Yeah, Chicken, I'll post them here in a second. And then basically what we've decided to do is in order to kind of push our community forward is use the gsgaming account, the Steemit account, as a spotlight account, which basically allows for any of the gaming members to post from their personal accounts using the GSG, pictures and logos and whatnot. And then we come back through, either BTC Venom or I will go through on the GS Gaming account and spotlight this author. And what it ends up doing is, goes through the week, payout, and they receive all the SBD. So we're using it as a way to kind of help authors and feel a little more love, so to speak, because we all know there's quite the learning curve on Steemit. So I think we're at about 35 members now. I think last week we were at about 11. So it's going to take a little time to get huge, but I think it's moving in the right direction. So we're always looking for more people to come over and jump over. I'll put the Discord link and any links that I might have that might be of importance. I'll link Zord189 because he does some on work as well.
And that is ZORD189?
Yes, sir.
As in Delta.
Yep, Delta. But yeah, he does really good work. So I guess it's kind of I wanted to make sure he's brand new to Steemit, so I wanted to make sure he gets a little love from whoever the community that chooses to use his services, because he does a really good job, and he's most of the stuff he's been just wanting to do it out of the love of his heart. I have always been trying to send him, compensation and whatnot. But yeah, he's a really good guy. Anyways, Get.Set Gaming is taking off, so I would be looking for it on the steaming hot or trending here in the next little while as far as for gaming. We brought on a few other people and have been discussing with some possible backers, but we shall see. I think it'll just be one of those, we grow as a community, and the quote unquote big payouts come later for everybody. I'm doing what I can using personal WhaleShares and whatnot to support the authors through the GS Gaming account. So anyways, that is my kind of top up and Get.Set Game news. Thank you guys.
Sure. Have you ever thought about the potential of tokenification for gaming? For this kind of group, like creating a community token, aka, well, it's I think a Steem media token is what they're going to call them when they come out. But we have tokens
the old
that can be used
SMTs
for that up until then.
Yeah, I mean, I think ideally I would love to do something like that. I personally don't know how to do that, but if you have somebody that you could link me with, I would be extremely interested for that, as well as I think Steemit Got Talent could use from that as well.
That's one of the things I'll help you with if you need, just so you know.
I'll reach out and PM here sometime today. Then I know you're busy. The other thing I wanted to just briefly announce was yes, Steam Power Picks read my mind. I've been in discussion with Chris Ike of Solar Coach Topsoul, and he's actually decided to give up 500 Topsoul a week to the winner of Steemit's Got Talent. So that'll be another, especially going into the eliminations here in the next few weeks. I think it'll be a nice way to bump up prizes and whatnot for elimination people.
This is some cool stuff that I think that the gaming segment, that sector in general, there's just so much you can do in it. So it's going to be cool to see where you're going with it. And I'll also remind you that there is another delegated proof of stake chain called Peer Plays. It's actually some of the people who are behind BitShares work with it, and they are going to be having it used just for games and gamification and things like that. And they're actually, I believe they're going to have a Unity API. So I just want to let you guys know, it's right now, it's cheaper than when I bought it. So you guys can get it cheaper than I bought it. And I know that they're doing stuff behind the scenes from what they've told me anyway. And they've came on and they've been pretty open about with joining the whale tanks in the past to talk about it too. So the only reason I bring that up is you're in this perfect spot where you're on Steemit. You could make money and earn money and build a community there, and you can also create kind of a synergy between Steemit and Peer Plays with that, right?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So yeah, I mean, if we can use these tools to make more money on more platforms, like kind of how I tell Nutella, hey, feel free to put all of our stuff on Descent. And if you want to kick me some of the funds that you earn, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. But you leverage it and earn on Descent. You know what I mean? That's another platform that you guys like, and it's based on delegated proof of stake. So you know it's going to scale. You know it's not going to have a bunch of people who want to use it, and then they're going to go, shit, I can't use it. So maybe just something to think about for you.
Definitely. I don't even think I have the Discord for Peer Plays. Do you have anybody I might be able to contact, or I'll just reach out and PM?
If you wanted, you could probably create the Discord yourself, because I don't think they have it. I don't think they have a Discord. Okay. They have a Telegram though.
Okay, awesome. I do have Telegram, so I'll look around there. But yeah, I'll try and get in touch with one of them. And
there you go. Apple.
If I could make a Discord for them, that would be awesome too.
Well, they are looking for people to get witnesses, and there you go. I mean, it's just too good to be true that you can earn from all these chains. Yeah, and that's what I thought. Yeah, it's called Voltron. Bam Bam, and if you do it, I think that you'll be very happy that you helped build Voltron.
Awesome.
Or Ultron, as my manager Mike wants to keep saying. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, how do they do so? If they want to help out or work with you in some way, shape, or form with this project. As
far as the gsgaming, I will put down the Discord for it, the community Discord. But I'm basically, as Fuzzy will probably vouch, I'm always on Discord. I kind of jump on steemit.chat here and there, a couple times a day just to check. But Discord is my main bread and butter. I'm there pretty much 24/7. So that would be the easiest way to meet me.
Could you provide a link in here for the people who are joining up today?
Yes, sir.
That'd be awesome. Just so they have access to see what you're up to. And, you never know when you start looking at these various other chains and you can potentially make some cash on all those, you start being able to potentially help people who join up and become part of the community. Maybe some of the people here will be some of those people.
Sounds good. I'm all about helping anybody I can.
Does anybody have any questions or comments before we close this segment up? We have 5 minutes left.
I talk fast, so anybody who wants to take over this 5 minutes, feel free.
Well, I was just wondering with this S&T tokens, how you see it, and because you wrote a post about it, I just read it, so maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah, I was kind of doing the similar thing that you're doing. I was kind of reaching out to the community to just kind of compile, a general consensus of at least the people that I reach out and follow. Or who follow me. I wanted to get kind of their general consensus. As far as what I think it's a cool way to get around, the whole ICO situation that's going on right now. But on the flip side, I think it's something that's more or less already been done, WhaleShares, that kind of a thing, similar but different. So I think it'll be interesting. I think it's going to initially be a whole flood of quote unquote BS that everyone's going to kind of have to go through. because I don't know. I didn't read the entire white paper, but I don't know that what system they're using to quote unquote, vent through the BS and the scam tokens and whatnot. I don't know if it's just going to be whoever makes one can enter it and use Steemit as the ICO platform. But I think it's only time will tell.
Yeah, well, the best thing would be if we could use Steem like a form of discuss with the queue, with like a comment system, because the reputation could really help to leave the spammers out and and filter the good comments. But I don't know if it's like for that. I just saw like some idea about it, and which was really good. But I haven't read the white paper also. So
yeah, I think it's one of those. It'll be as we've seen the Steemit community issues pop up, and there's people that necessarily don't use Steemit the platform for what it's for. But I think the community does a really good job of weeding out the BS and really getting down to the good core community, people who really care about Steemit. So I think it's going to be a similar event with these ICOs, I think initially it's just going to flood the market, and then everyone's going to have to kind of, okay, this is the one to go to, this is not, like that.
Well, if I may interject, then I think what's going to happen is that it's going to separate people who do shit and people who don't do shit, because these little tokens will be backed by people's hard work directly and sorts and sort out. So I think that problem you were talking about will kind of sort its way out. But more or less, it will flood the market. But again, it'll be a good flood. Just like when, but yes, I think it'll be a good thing. We'll see.
So yeah, if they can make it more easy to use, like I think there's, making accounts on BitShares and doing this all and watching the video of Kronos. And I mean, it's not hard, but yeah, I don't know if they can make it easier, then all the better. But on the other hand, maybe if they make it too easy, then you get all these shit coins, So yeah, time will tell.
My big thing is if you have a coin that it cannot really give people an opportunity to govern their community or have some semblance of structure that they can leverage to get things done. That's one of the biggest things that coins are going to have to deal with. That and scalability. If you've got those two things as a coin, your community is going to be able to survive through the hard times, and you will find those core people. But I think over time, you guys might see that if, for instance, some of these other techs out there, if they don't scale, and the only thing that they offer is, you don't like it, sell your coin, right? That's going to be, I think, the mark of what's going to make a shitcoin a true shitcoin. Because if we're thinking about cryptocurrency as something that's going to empower people, and it doesn't empower people other than to buy the coin and hold it and spend it and be a nice little servant who doesn't ask questions what happens with it, or to be able to be a citizen who has a say, kind of like in delegated proof of stake. I think there's a big, big difference, and especially for longevity of coins and the communities. Well, real quick, before we head out, I just want to thank you, BamBam808, and just to let everybody know, that is at gsgaming on Steemit. And thank you for joining up. Please feel free to join up anytime, and remind me today, man. I'll do it today with you. I can do a token in probably about 20 minutes during the after party, if that's cool.
Roger that. Sounds great to me, man. I appreciate it. I'm already in the Telegram talking to the peer play guys, or trying to. They're in there. They're in some serious discussions going on right now. Auto, buy, sell, hold.
Well, give them a reason to hold, man. Tell them all your ideas. That's the best thing to combat the FUD.
Yeah, they're talking about something else. Helmet something. Helmbet. Not quite sure what it even is.
Well, you'll figure it out, and we'll talk about it probably at the next time that you join up. Sound good?
Sounds good. I'll know what it is.
All right. Sounds wonderful.
Thanks,
all right.
Brother.
Of course. And to everybody here who joins up, consider all of the stuff that I'm talking about an opportunity for yourselves as well. These chains are here to serve people and give them the opportunity to maybe earn a little bit by being part of that ecosystem as well. It's a really cool kind of emergence that came from blockchains that like Bitcoin and those that went beyond Bitcoin. And we see currently many chains delegated proof of stake chains that are starting to really get noticed in the ecosystem for the reasons that we've seen them as diamonds in the rough from the very beginning. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to MarkyMark, and he's with Project BuildAWhale, and he's got some pretty cool updates for this week. MarkyMark, you want to step up and chat a little bit about the BuildAWhale?
Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, so for those who don't know, BuildAWhale is a bidding bot. You send 50 cents SPD or more. We raised it because of things I'm going to talk about. And then we do a vote down in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's how our cycle works, similar to Booster and all the others. Nothing new there. And then we have human curation at the back end, where we review all the posts that come in. There's about 100 plus a day. It's getting to be a lot more now. And we review it, and we pick 5 of them each day. And we do out a daily digest and put that out on BuildAWhale as well. And then now we're doing a contest in the weekend, where on Saturdays we announce the 5 best curated articles for the week, and then picked from all the curators. And then the community can go and vote up and pick which ones they think should win. And then the winners get WhaleShares for winning that. There's a first, second, and third place for that. And we announced it yesterday, and we're about to announce the contenders for this week. The other thing I wanted to announce is we now have 250,000 Steem power. So we are now officially a whale. And we're dropping, I think it's like $33, $34 votes, and it's going up as the 7-day average of Steem goes up. So it'll be in the 35, 40 range real soon. We also have a giveaway where anyone that re-steams our digest has an opportunity of winning a free sponsored curation. And like we said before, the sponsored curation is you could play 3 Steem to BuildAWhale and bypass the entire queue and not have to be curated through all the 100 plus posts, and you'd be featured right at the top as a sponsored curation. And as long as it's not porn or anything unethical, we don't censor anything. We'll put you through there, and we'll read it and give you a human touch curation for that. And that's completely free if you win it through one of our giveaways. And then we have some other things that have come up that we're going to be doing. We're also considering doing a website that will feature the curated, digested content and featuring it on a website that's outside of Steemit. And that's most of what I had to talk about that's public right now. So I'll open up to questions or if anyone wants to chat about it.
Well, I just wanted to say, because of this, and I've been pretty pumped up since I heard this, since you told me what was going on and that you've gotten to this point, and just because of kind of the progression. So I'll just say, if anybody wants to go out and kind of show the progression through audio parts that from Project BuildAWhale on SoundCloud, you can download them, and maybe I'll just do it maybe I'll post something about it for like 300 BeyondBit reward or something to have people post let's get a timeline of audio clips for you saying we have this much, we have this much, we have this much, maybe to one of a little song in the background or something.
I'm sure Steam Power Picks has already started already.
Steam Power Picks is pretty good, man. I'm sure that he can do it if you ask him. But I will gladly pitch in toward it, man. To be honest, for something like that, I think that these are the types of things that if the community showcases them, this is your content, right? It's downloadable by everybody. You can go out and download it. It's raw. You can edit it to do whatever you want, except obviously lie and make it sound like MarkyMark, put his words together to say that he kills goats on mountaintops and eats their eyeballs, or, something weird. If you do that, we'll probably come after you.
Definitely
but
verified.
Other than that, definitely verified. But first, he dragon breaths them, right?
But hey, also, can I say something about BuildAWhale? I mean, the MarkyMark is amazing. He's a great developer. Please consider voting him for witness too. I know he's not going to say it, but he's doing great things in the whole field of the nodes, and he's trying to work with a lot of these guys getting things fixed. He's helping a lot of people do their stuff, but he's not getting necessarily recognized enough for what he does. So if you guys, man, please vote for him for witness. His server's running pretty well. He knows what he's doing. He's a good person for us on Steemit, and show some support.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Yes, and even Voiceshares is endorsing his witness campaign, and we have been promoting MarkyMark with each of our posts from the past 3 days. So we will continue to do so for all the amazing work he's trying to do.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Really quick, Mark, I need to ask you about, have you done anything with the website yet, or are you getting started on that?
No, it's something I'm thinking about. One of the problems is a canonical thing, is the duplicate content, which becomes very tricky, because the whole advantage would be for SEO reasons, but Steemit currently SEOs very well. That's not going to happen for long. It's about to get nerfed. So putting on a separate site would bring more traffic into Steemit. The problem is it's a canonical issue because now you have the content in each one. You have to delegate which one is supposed to be the origin of the content, and you do that with a Google canonical tag. So I'd have to figure out like which way. It'd probably want to do the site or something like that, so the traffic would come there and then go in or something like that. I haven't figured it out, but it was something I was thinking about. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it because it does create two things in there. And unless if there was another reason for the site to gain traffic or have people on it, it doesn't serve a ton of purposes, but I was just thinking of ways of getting people funneled into Steemit.
Well, we actually have, the reason I bring this up is it's not finished, but it's in MVP form for a website it's a front end website. It's going to be used. We're going to make it for EOS Talk. We're going to have it too. So quite literally, you'll have the trending content from there that you can actually like kind of have a news visualization for the forums, right? So you might be out, you don't want to go looking at the forums on your cell phone, but you can go and check and see what like the news site looks like and what's going on, right? And you can actually break it down into various tags and have a primary tag with sub tags underneath it, and all the things go there. And the reason why I bring this up is in the current form, you might see that there's some tools that you have access to in there and some code that you could utilize. And I've paid for it. I mean, I need more people to probably work with it anyway. And I don't mind if people take it and it was supposed to be open source from the very beginning. I just got the guy who started building it was a very fun story that you guys can go listen to the archive of at any point in time. Looking back on it, it's actually quite funny, but it is available if you're interested in checking it over, man. You just have to be obviously stubbornly persistent to make sure I get you in connection with the guy.
Is it code or is it actually a site that's going up?
It's code. I believe that he made it as it was meant to be able to be a WordPress plugin.
Okay, because that's where I would go is WordPress if I was going to host it myself, because that's what I do.
Oh, well, it sounds like these two things might marry together then pretty well, buddy.
Yeah, I'll check a look at it.
Sounds good.
The other thing I wanted to mention is I posted a link earlier with some of the nodes going on today. Thanks for the witness, Nutella. I posted an image of all the nodes that are down right now, and there's like 3 out of 5 are gone right now, and Privix is fixing things right now. So they didn't support all the plugins, so they shut it down, and it's taking 6 to 12 hours to replay their blocks. And I still haven't seen an update of them coming back online. And I know a lot of people use them, like I was talking about before, how everything is centralized with the witnesses in a full node. So I was looking at doing a full node that would be public, and I thought maybe we could do a community one for WhaleShares or something like that, like Minnow Support did. But I'm still thinking about the technicalities of stuff like that. Right now I'm setting up my second witness, so I have failover and stuff like that.
Sounds like something. I think we talked a little about this together last night, maybe it was. Gosh, I've been staying up so late doing stuff. The night's trail. I think it was last night that we talked, but regarding the full node that you're planning on running for Steem, just make sure to let me know what you need as far as how much that costs to run it, and we can do that.
I will do.
At least until you get a witness, you know what I mean? Anybody have any questions or comments? We have about 3 minutes left.
The witness is about $50 to $100 for the hardware, then you have to maintain it, which is interesting. Once you get high enough, like I'm getting high enough where it's kind of expected to have a backup, and then you need to double that. And then you need to have another server that basically can remote kill switch them, preferably 2. So you're looking at 2 to 4 servers when you start getting into the range that I'm in. And right now, you need a 16 gig server, and that's growing fairly fast. Well, you can get away with a smaller one, but it's 12 gigs right now, so you're pretty much at a 16 gigs right now, and it'll be breaking that, which means you'll have to get a 32 gig, which brings the price up a bit.
Did they fix the memory map problem? It was like 100 gigabytes? No.
But you're talking most likely about a full node that requires 128 gigs actually 104, but you're looking at a 128 gig server. And most people that are doing it are going for a 256 gig server because 128 is not going to last long. So you're talking very limited options when you start talking about that caliber server, because there's just not many places that'll host it. If you do something like that, like Rackspace, which is a AAA hosting company, you're looking over $1,000.
Like per month or what?
Yeah, per month. And that's without any support or redundancy or anything like that.
And so are the earnings based on the top, or?
There's absolutely no earnings for a full node, and that's what makes it suck. Is you're pretty much, it's the most expensive server you can rent. 256 is insane, and there's no benefit to the person hosting it. There's no financial reward or anything.
That's really weird. But so does the whole blockchain need to be in memory then?
Because the way it was designed was not really smart for scaling. And they're working on trying to fix that, but thanks to the witnessing zone.
Yeah, it's always better to, you read it and then, but it's better to hear it, it sounds more plausible or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. If you guys are wondering how I can tell you witness vote me like instantly, it's because I'm using a service called Steem Watch. It'll let you know if somebody witness votes you. It'll also let you know if somebody unwitness votes you. And then it also will tell you if you get notified in a post or something like that. It has a few other things, like if someone posts or something like that, which it's kind of buggy, like setting it up. Once you have the alerts set, though, it's good. But actually setting them up, it takes a few tries sometimes.
Who makes Steem Watch?
I don't know. I set it up a couple days ago, and I don't know who set it up. I found out about it from Tim Cliff. But I was building something similar that would notify me through pushover about when that I change rankings or somebody approves me or something like that, or I miss a block or something like that.
This is maybe for...
It's made by Void.
See, that's the problem that I have with that name. I don't know if that's serious or if it's like saying actually like kind of like null.
Hey, you should be a programmer, Fuzzy.
Yeah, it's the user Void, I guess. I'd even look at who made it. I just started checking out because Tim Cliff said it, and he's pretty damn cool.
Cool. Well, Marky
Yeah,
Mark.
no, it's real. It's at Void. I know it sounds funny, but that's actually his ID. So.
It does work awesome, though, but it is really, really buggy. Like when you go and say, this is the person I want to monitor, it takes forever to do it. It takes like 4 or 5 tries. Thanks, Con Electric, for the vote.
Well, it seems like 15 minutes went by pretty dang quickly on this, but I will say, Marky, it made me smile when you're like, I'm at 250,000 Steam power. It's BuildAWhale is now a whale. And I know, and I want to make this clear to everybody because the Marky Mark, the way he's doing this is he's leasing Steam power. So he's not doing this for his own profit quite as much as he is to try to make something that's extremely valuable and intrinsically valuable and putting money back into the pockets of people who are doing things that are bringing value. So it's a very important point, I guess, to bring up to consider voting for him. And I'll say this, he's watching you on Steam Watch. So if you vote him up, he knows you did, buddy. So, anyway, all jokes aside, how do they reach out to you, Marky Mark?
Discord and Steemit chat are where I usually hang out, and I can post a link for the Discord for BuildAWhale. But if you just tag me, you'll find me on most of the servers. Thanks, Nick. I'm an Expire one, so you just have to use it today.
No, that should be that should be good for.
Oh, it is? Okay, I thought they had the same link because I recognize the next.
Yeah, that's the one that's on the posts.
Okay, cool.
Okay, well, with that said,
we are looking at doubling the Steam power soon if this thing works out. Right now, it's not a profitable endeavor. We're trying to see if we could at least make it so we don't have to keep funneling Fire into this thing to keep it to the next week.
Good job, man. These are the types of things like whenever I'm seeing what Xanox is doing, what Voiceshares is doing, Marky Mark, these guys have been coming here for quite some time now. And to be able to watch the seeds as they're planted start growing is probably one of the biggest blessings that these Hangouts have offered me personally. And I'll just say, these are the types of things that rather than focus on the television and all the negative stuff that's going on, maybe, just maybe, we can leverage this type of stuff, what we're doing here, to create a new model that shows people that they don't need to watch the negative shit on television and that maybe they can actually create their own stories and archive their own stories, the good and the bad, and show it truthfully, honestly, and build value and prove it and show the world that you can go through troubling, difficult times and still emerge stronger and victorious. So with that said, I appreciate everybody who joins the Whale Tank, and I look forward to watching you all become whales. Talk to you next Saturday. Make sure to RSVP and share our content, everyone. The amount of upvotes that we receive are given out to the people who join these hangouts. Have a good one.
You've been listening to the Beyond Bitcoin Whaletank. As a reminder, be sure to follow the Beyond Bitcoin tag on Steemit, as well as our Hangout host Official Fuzzy for the latest Whaletank updates. From all of us here at the Beyond Bitcoin Whaletank, we want to thank you for being a part of the discussion.